Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and today we're going to talk about the transition roadmap. We're going to talk about what's there to come in a transition. What does that look like? What is the user journey? I am a product designer, and so I always think about how the user goes through, or the person goes through their journey of transformation. And this is kind of a little bit like the hero's journey, honestly, because you are literally going through transformation, which is, in a nutshell, what the hero's journey is about. But you are the hero, which is even more fantastic, right? So we're going to dive into this. You're going to be smarter, hopefully, after this video, and you're going to be more prepared for knowing stuff about your transition and where you need to be. If you're wondering about this funny little bruise on my lip here, it's because I just got lip injections today, and I dropped my book on the floor. Thank you. And yeah, we're going to dive into transition roadmap. So let's do that, shall we? I'm reading from this book, which you can get on my website if you're interested. It's called Trans Kung Fu, Awakening Self-Awareness. This is about the transition on the inner world, because I figure everyone can just look up how to do makeup, or, you know, you can watch one of my videos about breast surgery, or like how to feel and pretend to be like a woman or something like that. But this is kind of like that inner alchemy stuff, like that meditation, mindfulness, that kind of stuff. That's what this book is about. And so, yeah, we're going to go into the roadmap. Here's my roadmap here. It's a bit small, so you may have to, I think I have it on my website. You might be able to check it out there. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. This is kind of like, maybe I'll just talk about it now. This is where you start. Everything's kind of normal. And then as things progress, you start to get gender euphoria. You get really excited. And then around here, you realize that things are not actually that great when you're trans. There's a lot of bad things. So you go down here into the bottom because you start realizing the severity of your position now. And you kind of go through this, which is the up and down trough phase. This is the hardest phase of the transition. It's like, it's lots and lots and lots of ups and downs. And this period right here could be years. And then right around here, you eventually figure out how to get life together, how to live, who your friends are, how to be accepted, and what to wear and what to dress. And then you kind of make your way out of this trough. And that's basically like the roadmap in a nutshell. We're about to dive into that in more detail in these next few chapters. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to comment on it because obviously I have more thoughts on it. This is really just as a condensed form of a guide as possible. It's not that long. It's like 100 pages, and the text is kind of big, so you know it's an easy read, but there's a lot of density in here, so I'm also going to deconstruct some of it. So the transition roadmap. This is the transition roadmap, which you may have completed already or are somewhere in between, or maybe you're just getting started. Wherever you are, this might shed some perspective and give you insight into yourself. Having an idea of where you're at and also what might give you, but okay, we're gonna skip forward because we just kind of covered that. All right, so here's, so here is my personal picture of myself. Here's me when I am 16. I am depressed, low-key depressed. I just play computer games. Look at that CRT monitor. That is a thick monitor. That's me just low-key playing video games. So for me, when I started out, I felt off. Ever since I entered puberty, something felt off. I remember spending time in the mirror looking into my eyes. You'd be so pretty as a woman, I would say, and I secretly wished I could be. But shortly after thinking this, I would repress that feeling and just shrug it off as, well, I wasn't born a woman, that's how it works, so oh well. Have you ever had that? Like, have you, in your history, ever kind of looked in the mirror or had that longing feeling to be another gender, and then you kind of shrugged it off because that's not where you are in life, you don't have that capability, or that's just not possible? Yeah, that's kind of where I was. And this was kind of a thought loop of denial, which was based on societal logic that birth sex equals gender. And so I kept in adherence with the gender paradigm I was born into, and I didn't question it until much later. So yeah, so this is kind of like, I think, the thing that gets a lot of people in denial. It's a little secret trick. You have a thought pattern that loops, and this thought pattern that loops keeps you regulated within the bounds of what is considered safe that you have considered safe and has keeps you within this system. Now, you could say that there's higher, up ideological and societal constructs and ways of thinking that are perpetuated through mass media that also create us in thought loops, and you'd be right to say that. So when you're examining your gender, you really want to look at what thought loops are keeping you within the bounds of what feels safe, rather than looking at them as these are boundaries that are actually preventing me from acknowledging who I am or who you are, and what's really going to make you happy, what's really going to make you the person who you are meant to be. That is such an important thing, to really be the person that you're meant to be. And it can take time, it takes effort, and you are evolving. So there's never an end to becoming something, but there does become a point where you find this part of yourself that is most of yourself. And you can say, this is my resting point, this is my center, this is who I am. And oh my gosh, if you can find your center and who you are through this process of self-discovery, you will have so much more effectiveness in being able to make decisions about yourself and about your life, because you don't have that vagueness within you. You can just search and say, okay, hey, should I move? Hey, does this feel right? Does this place feel right? Does this person feel right? Let me check in with myself. Let me test this own organism that you have to tell you, the subconscious and all the magic that's involved there, to tell you what you want, to tell you what you need. Oh my God, efficiency. There's so much efficiency in knowing who you are. So that's a big piece that's not in the book, but there it is. Okay, you ready for a thought meditation? So this is the thought meditation. Where have you felt that society has pressured you into thinking and adhering to your assigned gender? Yeah, where has it happened? Where are those thought loops? Where are those boundaries that are being created for you? And if you're ready, it might be good to ask yourself, how can you experiment with your gender? How can you say, okay, well, maybe right now I'm a cis man, but, I feel like some feminine things would attract me. I'd be interested in that. Can you do some of that? Can you wear a little bit of a skirt? Can you wear something that's a little bit more playful for you? Can you treat it like it's not a burden, not something to be ashamed of, not something to be afraid of? I feel like for so many trans women, the shame of wearing a dress and being seen as a man in a dress is so massive that some people just can't even bring themselves to do it, really, or go into the store, or be seen even shopping. It's so embarrassing and it's so frightening. By the way, if you want to go out shopping, I highly recommend just getting a girlfriend or someone that is supportive to go shopping with you. That makes it a lot easier. And it also makes you feel more normal and less weird. What kind of tiny things can you do right now for yourself to see what feels right? What comes up for you as you do this? So think of the small things like nail polish for trans women, wearing a binder for trans men. What can you do that's going to make you feel something new that you think you may want? And test yourself, ask yourself, is this feeling right? When I put on nail polish for the first time, I was like, whatever. Now I put on nail polish a month ago, and then I was like, wow, okay, this is a new thing that I want to do. So I have my nail polish over there, I need to do that. But wearing a dress was kind of the first thing. Putting on makeup was also another thing. I looked at myself in the mirror with my makeup and wig and went, wow, there she is. What? How is that even possible? I didn't even know. And of course, then later comes gender dysphoria and how you see yourself as a man, and then you have to kind of work through that. But in the beginning stages, it's around the euphoria. That's where things kind of start. This is the hook to your gender transition. Also, when you do this in experiment, don't worry if it's difficult or doesn't make sense. Transitions take time. It takes experimentation. It can be years. It took me 2 years of being non-binary to actually realize I was a binary trans woman. Some people say trans femme, but I don't know. What are we at? 9 minutes? Okay, the next episode we'll have to do is exploration. So we'll step into that next. If you want to buy this book, by the way, you can get it on my website. And if you'd like to support me, you can also check out my Patreon. Please like and subscribe for more of this kind of content if you're into it, and share this with your friends if you think it'll help them too. Okay, I'll see you in another episode. Bye.